There are no more dumb questions because you are interacting with someone who doesn't have judgment.
Meltwater is the global leader in media, social, and consumer intelligence. We understand the worldwide narratives that are happening around brands and categories. We understand the people who are driving those narratives, and we understand the audiences they influence. We bring together 1 billion pieces of data daily, print data, TV, digital, social, and synthesize that into insights for our clients. Your typical vice president or broader participant in an organization doesn't want to go into a dashboard and filter results and do a search. What they want is an answer to a question is basic. What is the news around us right now? And so if we can bring our insights into those environments, into Copilot, into Teams, in a conversational tone that a trained analyst doesn't have to be the interaction point for, it can be really powerful. Really turning these products from toys and tools into teammates.
From an analyst perspective, that is what we have always wanted, right? We've always wanted the reporting questions, the what's happening to be self-service. And we've tried to create systems like dashboards that do that. But we now have a real solution, a real path forward to take those kinds of things off of our plate so we can use our expertise in a way that is the most valuable to an organization. What I get excited about as an insights professional is that it gives dashboards a voice, right? If you're having a conversation with a dashboard, what would it say is the most important thing on the display right now? So we've been testing various use cases, things like, who do I invite to this event where I only have a certain amount of invites? What story do I prioritize in a given news plate? And that's the power of this conversational interface, is you can take your gut instinct, which is good, your expertise, and you can pull that thread. You can have that conversation directly with the data.
And I think that's really important for most organizations. It's not the core analyst report that is lacking many times. It's usually the follow-up questions to that analyst report. And the ability to have this call it a virtual assistant in a Teams environment allows you to ask those questions on the fly in the moment when it's important.
One of the barriers sometimes that I feel if I'm delivering an analysis to a client or to someone is that they don't want to ask the dumb question. And it's like, well, there are no more dumb questions because you are interacting with someone who doesn't have judgment. It's not going to judge you for asking, well, where did that come from? And what did they write about last time? Information silos are a killer in these scenarios when you really need to be openly sharing information with everyone who is responsible for deciding what to do about a crisis, whether to make a response or not, what kind of response to put out into the world. So I view the utility of AI in crisis vital, critical. It's going to be a powerful tool for us. It already is in the reactive sense. Now, proactively, there is also a ton that can be done with AI and that we're exploring. These tools have enormous predictive capability. So what we're really exploring right now is looking at how we can help our clients build reputational resilience to be able to identify areas of vulnerability far ahead of an event or a crisis actually emerging. We're not going to be able to prevent a crisis, but we will be able to mitigate the fallout by being prepared.
We're still in the trust but verify stage of the AI revolution. And so what we tell our clients is that humans in the loop and human review is an extremely important part of the workflow today. You can trust it for a lot of the first stage work, but before you put out its answers into the world, you should have a human review that. And also have a human add the context that humans are still great at compared to AI. And so AI is a great first draft for a lot of your work, but it's not a great endpoint for the work you do. And that's where the human comes into the equation.